Hi, my name is Scott, and this video is about Docker and specifically how it's such a great tool for developers. And I'm going to show how wonderful a tool it is by just cloning a sample application on getting it down on my local machine and running it where I can edit the code and then push up my changes and just how quickly I can do that. A few things to start off with. I am running this on a Windows 10 machine, so I am running Docker for Windows. That's the only thing you need to know. Okay, here's the sample application. This is on Docker's main account over on GitHub, and they have this app called Example Voting App. And just jumping down really quick, let's look and see the architecture just so I can explain what it is. So it's a voting app, and you vote on cats or dogs, which you like better. And the voting app itself is a Python application. And then that Python application, there's a Redis queue, which collects the votes from that application. And then there is a .NET Core worker, which grabs the votes from the queue and then stuffs them into a Postgres database. And then you can view the results here in a Node application. And I have none of this on my machine. I don't have Python or Redis, .NET Core, no Postgres. I do have Node, but I'm not using it, so it doesn't matter anyway. It would still work even if I didn't have it. And all you need to do is clone the repository and then run Docker compose up, and you're ready to go. So I'm just going to show you that. I run up here and clone it, and then in your directory, all right, and so they said just run Docker compose up, and that's it. So let's give it a go. And I may have to fast forward a little bit here unless you want to watch all of these images downloading. So if it gets too long, I will come back. But what's going on right now is I haven't ran this yet. Well, I did run it, but I deleted everything for the video. And now it's downloading all the images again. So I will fast forward and then see you in a second. All right, we're done. So let's check really quick to make sure everything is running as planned. This is localhost 5000, and there it is. There is a Cat's First Dog, the voting page. You can click on either one of these to vote, and then over here on 5001 is the results page. No votes yet, so it's still 50-50, and you can see here if I vote for that I like cats, this updates and says 100% of the votes are for cats. There's one vote. I can also change my vote. So if I decided I like dogs better, and it changed there. Okay, so let's check out the code really quick. I'm going to stop all the services. There it is, Control C. And we'll go ahead and get in there. Let's hop over to the Docker Compose YAML file. And this tells Docker Compose how to run every service really quickly. In the results app, which is what I'm just going to worry about now, it's the Node application, and we're kicking it off with NodeMon, and it's running in debug mode. I'm going to add in the legacy, I think it's called legacy load flag, and that tells NodeMon to reload anytime a change is made inside of the JavaScript files. And a few other things to point out just really quickly. So this is running on port 80 inside of the container, and this opens it up to my local machine. So that's why it's running on 5001 and why I can see it. And here's also the debug port, which is available to us on our local. All right, so I save that, and let's kick off the application again with Docker Compose up. And this time it's going to run a lot quicker because I have all those images on my local machine now. So it's just pretty much starting up the containers, so it doesn't have to download all that again. And I think it's back up. This is going to stay the same because the volume down here, this DB data, this was Postgres's volume, which lives outside of the containers running. So when I stopped all the containers before, this volume lived on, and the containers, when they kicked back on, are still referencing that. So the votes from before are still in there. So if I refresh this, I don't know why it's doing that. Let's do it this way. Well, that doesn't matter anyway. That's the voting app. But here in the results app, if I refresh this one, still dogs 100% because of that volume still having that data. But if I vote for cats, it switched back to cats. Okay, so the app is running. Now let's get in and look at it. Let's attach it to the service and see what's going on in there and make some changes. What I'm going to do is using VS Code's debugger. It has this little launch config, and it's going to attach to the process on 5858, which is our node service. So if I hit F5 here to kick that off, and I already set up a breakpoint, and it stopped right on this get votes function, where the node app runs this query against Postgres and collects all the votes and then displays them here. And we can see A has 1 vote, B has 0. And I can tell you cats is A and dogs is B. And so if we vote for dogs now and come back in here and let this breakpoint go ahead, the next one, as you can see, is now a vote for the dogs. So we're able to debug this code, which is running in a container. It's running against our local code. So it's pretty cool that we're able to just get in and debug something that we just downloaded. And we can also make changes to that code. So say, for instance, I may not care for cats, and I wanted to make a little code change here so that if there was a vote for a cat, that vote would not count, and it would be a vote for a dog. So I just made that little change there. And like I said, we had that L flag on NodeMon, so it immediately reloaded the application with those changes. And if we set up our debugger again, and we see now we have a vote for dog, but we knew that was going to happen. Let's set up breakpoint really quick there and get back to the app, and we'll vote for the cats. All right, so come back to the app, and we have, let's step in one step so we can look at it. So we can see it's a vote for a cat, and we'll let it go through, and that vote is changed. And we'll let it play through, and a vote for the cat is a vote for the dog. So with Docker there, I was able to download that repository and get it up and running on my local machine without having any of that software. And then I was able to attach to the services actually running in those containers on my local machine, and also make code changes which I can push up to the server. And know that that code is going to run for anyone who has Docker, whether it be another developer or on a server in prod. And that's why I think Docker really is a great tool for developers.